Hi, welcome back to my channel, Beautiful Minutia. If you're new here, my name is Tiffany, and today I'm doing the BOOKTUBE Anniversary Tag. I'm super excited to do this tag because it's my BOOKTUBE anniversary. It's actually today, I think, if this video is going up when it's supposed to. My first video was posted on January 29th. 2021. So it is my 1-year anniversary and my first time doing this tag. I will try to link the original creators of this tag if I can find it down below, but the person who I watched do this tag was Gloria Z. Thompson, and her anniversary was semi-recently, so I just saved this tag knowing that mine was coming up. So let's go ahead and dive into the questions. The first question is, how many years on BOOKTUBE are you celebrating? 1, I already answered that question. Number 2 is, how have you changed from your first video to now? I'd say first of all, the biggest change is that I am much more comfortable on camera, talking to a camera than I was originally. It doesn't feel as awkward. I used to not want to ever record if anyone was in the house and could hear me, and now it's just kind of normal and it doesn't bother me. I would also say that I have gotten much more confident in my TBR and book choices that I make, because when I first started out on BOOKTUBE, I kind of wanted to read what I saw other people around me reading, because I just wanted to fit in, I guess. But there were a lot of those books that I wasn't enjoying. Just because they were popular books didn't mean that they were books that I was going to enjoy. And that doesn't mean that I don't enjoy popular books sometimes too, because I definitely do. But I have kind of found my people on BOOKTUBE. I found a lot of other booktubers and so many of you subscribers who also enjoy reading classics, and so it's made me feel more comfortable to choose and talk about classics all the time, because at first I kind of felt like a weirdo because I didn't see a whole lot of booktubers who were talking about older books at all. It seemed like so much of it was more focused on new releases. So I think I've become more confident in reading and talking about books that I really love. Number 3 is actually a 2-parter question. So the first part is, what are 3 of your favorite videos that you've made in the past year and why? It's actually kind of hard to just choose 3. The first one I'll say was the rapid fire book tag, the second part, which I did with my husband. So I did the rapid fire book tag twice. I did it with my answers, and then I did a second video with my husband where he tried to guess my answers, and that was so much fun. And it was really hilarious. My husband's really funny, or at least I think so. So that was definitely a favorite, and it's the only video so far that he's been on my channel. I also really like videos that I've made with my daughter as well. Those are really, really fun, especially ones where she recommends books. And we've done a few of those. I also really loved my bookish pet peeves video, and the reason why that one was so much fun is because I went over my bookish pet peeves, but then I put out a question box on Instagram asking other people for their bookish pet peeves. So then I was able to make it very interactive, and I shared all the responses that I got, and then whether or not they were bookish pet peeves for me as well, and then we talked about it more in the comments. So it was just a very fun video. And the last video I want to mention is a more recent one, and it was ranking all of the classics that I read in 2021. I really enjoyed that video, even though if I were to go back today, there's probably some that I would choose, because sometimes it just kind of depends on your day where you're like, wait, no, maybe I like that one more. So, but it was just fun to talk about every single classic that I read and rank them. The next part of this question is, what video are you the most proud of and why? And I don't really know if I have a specific video that I'm super proud of. I did just recently do a BOOKTUBE spin video, and I figured out how to put video on the screen of Rick McDonald's YouTube video while I was watching it in the video. So I was pretty excited about that. I think I'm also excited about the videos where my daughter is sharing book recommendations. I guess that's kind of redundant from the first part of the question, but I'm proud not because I made it, but because I'm proud of her and how articulate she sounds, and I just think she's smart and amazing, and I really love her. The fourth question is, what's your most popular video? And until recently, it was actually my July TBR video from last year. I don't know why that one was so popular, but it was. But it was just recently overtaken by my classics TBR for 2022. The next question is, what have you struggled with on BookTube in the past year, and how did you overcome that struggle? So I think my biggest struggle that I have had is overscheduling myself and choosing way too many books to read, wanting to participate in all the buddy reads and all the readathons and read-alongs and everything, because like people would say, oh, I'm reading such and such a book, and I'm like, oh, I want to read that forever, and I just want to like jump in on every single thing. But then towards the end of last year, I experienced like some really hardcore burnout, which was really unfortunate. So I'm trying to rein myself in, but it's really hard because I still want to read all the books with all the people, and I don't want to like hurt anyone's feelings who reaches out to me and goes, hey, we should buddy read this, and I'm like, oh, I don't know if I want to add something else. So I'm still struggling with that. Actually, I did better in January, I think, than I have done in a while, but yeah, February is already way more packed than it was supposed to be, so apparently I'm still struggling with that. And then the next part of question 5 is, what's the hardest thing about creating videos for YouTube? So I think I have 2 answers to this. The first one is I have a hard time sometimes coming up with original content. So it's easy for me to come up with like TBRs and reading wrap-ups and book reviews and vlogs and that kind of stuff, because like that's stuff everyone does. But as far as coming up with like unique content that other booktubers aren't putting out, I'm not great at that. I'm better at copying other people than just coming up with my own stuff. And then also, and this is just kind of a more recent struggle that I've had, finding time to edit videos, quite honestly. I didn't really struggle with this in the beginning, but my schedule has become more packed since September, but it was really in October that it really started picking up, and December was crazy, and January's been a little better, but it's just a lot when you are a mom and you're homeschooling, so you have both of those things, plus I'm a pastor's wife and I have a lot of responsibilities at church, and then, you know, my daughter plays sports and we're getting ready to start piano lessons back up, so it's just a lot to find time sometimes for that kind of stuff. Also, the sun is getting stronger, so sorry about that. Question number 6 is, have you had to deal with negative feedback or comments, and how did you handle it? Not very much. I have not had very much negative feedback. I have only had like 2 really negative comments in the entirety of my BookTube channel, so that's kind of nice. The 2 comments that I got, one of them was actually basically very, very insulting for me being a Christian in general. And it's really funny because I got like an email saying that this person commented this on a certain video, and then like when I went to like click on it, it was gone. So YouTube had actually deleted it. So I didn't have to do anything with that at all. And then the second comment that I got was actually insulting another booktuber that I was talking about on my channel, which I'm not cool with. Like, if people want to like criticize me, that's one thing, but if people criticizing other people, it just makes me mad. So it was really funny because I wanted to leave a snarky comment, and then I decided I was just going to delete the comment. And I've never ever deleted anyone's comments except that one. And if it had been a comment about me, I would have left it up. But I felt like it was really, really rude toward someone that I really love. And it was completely uncalled for because it was someone that I just mentioned like really briefly. Question number 7 is to shout out a huge supporter of your channel. And there are so many people who have supported me that it's really hard to call out one person. I would say one booktuber that has probably supported me the most would be Chantel from Chantel Reads All Day. I started my booktube channel last year, and when I did, she had shared that I started my channel with a link on like her community tab, and that's how I got like my first like 80 subscribers, was because Chantel shared, because I didn't have very many people that like came over that were following me on Instagram or anything that then came over and subscribed to my YouTube channel. I didn't have that. Like, I was very much starting from scratch. And then recently she shouted me out again, and that helped bump me up to 500 subscribers. So I think Chantel is one of the people who have supported me the most, and she's actually the one who talked me into starting my BookTube channel, because we were friends before I was on BookTube. So I talked to her about it because I was already blogging about books on my blog, which I have not been as active on recently, but I do have a blog, and it is linked in the description if you ever want to go check it out. 90% of it is about homeschooling, but I do also talk about books and working out and recipes and like all kinds of stuff. It's kind of like a hodgepodge of my life. But anyways, she talked me into starting my BookTube channel, and I'm really, really glad that she did. Number 8 is, what is the best book that you have read in this past year? And I just recently posted like, my best books of 2021. And since my BookTube anniversary is at the end of January, all of those answers still hold up. I have not read anything yet that has passed up Little Women, which I read in December and was my favorite book of the year. I've had some great reads so far in January, which you'll hear about soon in a reading wrap up, but it hasn't dethroned Little Women yet. Question number 9 is, where do you see your channel in a year's time and what do you hope to achieve? I don't know. I would like to reach 1,000 subscribers in the next year, which I feel like is probably achievable. I'm over 600 subscribers now, so I really hope that I'm able to reach 1,000 subscribers, just because it seems like a big number and a big thing to celebrate. As far as where I want to see my channel, I kind of want to keep doing what I'm doing. I love it. I love the community that we have here, and I love being able to read books and chat with you guys. So I don't have any like big creative goals. I think it would be really fun to host a read-along of a book or read-a-thon kind of a deal. I think those would be really fun things that I might like to do in the future. And there is a book that I'm considering hosting a read-along on that I've had quite a few people express interest in reading this year. So I may do that. That would be something that I would like. It would be kind of fun to start up some sort of like semi-consistent book club with some of you. But I am not totally sure what that might look like. Question number 10 is, what is an unexpected surprise that happens in the past year? So I think the biggest surprise for me was all the friends that I made. I was not expecting that at all. Like, I started BookTube because my husband does read sometimes, but he doesn't really read any of the same books that I read. He's mostly interested in historical nonfiction, so he wasn't interested in reading any of the books that I read, and I didn't know anyone in real life who read any of the books that I was reading. So I started it as an opportunity to be able to talk about these books because I wanted to talk to people about what I was reading, and it just evolved into making so many friends, which I did not expect. I thought I was going to, make connections and talk to people, but I wasn't expecting so many of you to become so dear to me in such a short amount of time. And there's so many booktubers that I've become really good friends with, and so many subscribers that I talk to on a daily basis, and it's just wonderful. And I did not expect that. It has been such a joy to get to know so many of you. Also, this is kind of unrelated, but it's also a surprise. BookTube lowered the threshold of those who can have the community tab and be able to tag people in videos to 500 like last fall, and I was really excited because I wasn't super far from 500, and then I hit 500, so I was able to do that. So it was a surprise that I was able to get the community tab as fast as I did, because I thought I was gonna have to have 1,000 subscribers. So that's just a silly aside. Question number 11 is thoughts on equipment. What is the most useful piece of equipment that you've bought? I mentioned this in my 500 subscribers Q&A, that I really didn't do much when I started. I still like record on my phone and edit on my phone, but I did buy a tripod. That is the only piece of equipment that I have bought, and I actually forgot to mention that in that video because that is much more useful than anything else. So I will link the tripod that I purchased down below in the description. It was really, really inexpensive. It fits my iPhone, which is a much bigger iPhone. I think I have like the 11 or something, and it's pretty big. And so it stretches to fit that pretty well, but it would fit smaller ones as well. And it also comes with like a Bluetooth clicker, which is pretty cool, except I lost that and I don't know where that is right now. But that's a cool thing too, so you can like set it up through your phone to like hit record and then to end your recording as well. Question number 12 is, what advice would you give to someone thinking of starting YouTube? So I actually answered this in my 500 subscribers Q&A as well, but I'll add a little bit to it so that way it's not the exact same answer. But basically the advice that I gave in that video was the same advice that was given to me, and it was to just start doing it, because you're gonna learn and grow as you go. So don't feel like you have to invest all this money in equipment or cameras or special microphones or whatever. Or just start filming, just start uploading. The BookTube community is very kind and very gracious, and so we're not the community that's going to come in and be pointing out all your mistakes and be jerks. I found the BookTube community to be super welcoming to someone who really didn't know what they were doing. But I'm going to add a piece of advice to this, and it's just to be consistent with your uploading. So that doesn't mean that you have to upload every day, but it's very good for your YouTube algorithm and also your subscribers if you consistently upload on certain days. So that could mean you upload Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I upload Tuesday and Thursday and sometimes Saturday, but everyone's different. You could just start with one video a week and just upload every Monday or every Sunday, or whatever. Just pick a day of the week and make sure that you can probably consistently make the amount of videos that would fill in that time spot. So one day a week is definitely a very good starting point, but it's very good for your channel to have that consistency, and your subscribers come to expect and be excited about your videos coming out on certain days. And the last question is to tag someone whose BookTube anniversary is coming up. And I don't know exactly whose anniversaries are coming up. I'm not really familiar when everyone started, but I do know that Becca from Hicks Picks Books started her channel like the same week that I started mine. So at the time that I am filming this video, she has not yet done this tag. Maybe she will have by the time that I post this video, but if not, I'm tagging you, Becca. I would love to hear your answers. Well, this has been the BookTube anniversary tag. I'm sorry the lighting got kind of weird and I'm kind of like glowy on one side of my head, but oh well, sometimes you just gotta film when and where you can film. Thank you so much to all of you who have supported my channel in this past year, whether that means that you're subscribed or that you comment, interact with me down below. I absolutely love hearing from all of you. I love hearing about the books that you've been reading, talking to you about the books that I've been reading. It's just been absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please hit like and also subscribe so you can continue to see more bookish content from me, and I will see you again next time.